Turkish train. 2 days in, the train emptied at the border, except for those few, a couple dozen or more, not having arrived yet. The barren landscape clicked by to the sound of metal wheels on track, so weary, steady, and laboring, we climbed the central Turkish mountains. Amidst the Greek woman, gracious and round, her nodding and smiling and rubbing my feet, someone's grandmother. The man with the grapes I could still taste, parched now, the poet, his dramatic appeal, the tears. Was it the wine he drank or the words he spoke that evoked such emotion? But now my silence is surrounded by silence, the fragrance of wine, the memory, replaced with the stench of urine wafting through the train cars and the mingled mask of those gone. Another passport check. That conversation you receive with a strange apprehension, and responding, I am surprised that I know 3 words now. This will be useful, I think. Until the soldiers come, and I don't understand. They motion me to come and follow. Once again, the passport gets a look. I'm tired, I'm cold, I'm hungry, thirsty. I follow through a series of cars, full of people, peasants, working people. They glance at me with the soldiers, and we speak for a moment in the only language we share, a smile. We reach a final car, and it's different, clean, ornate, with purple and gold, regal. There are curtains and carpet and the sweet smell of apples. The soldiers slide open a compartment door and motion me to go in. I do, they don't. There are men sitting at a table. They stand, smiling. I'm confused. One says, French? Please, seat. Glass cups and the brass pots are brought in. Tea? I know this word. Tea. I drink, they nod, smiling. And there's more tea, and more. And we are laughing now. And they are rolling cigarettes. And we're drinking tea, laughing, smoking. And now there are biscuits. I'm hungry, so hungry. And we're eating biscuits now, eating and drinking tea, and laughing and smoking. And the train breathes a sigh. We're going down now. The station is ahead. Maybe an hour, maybe a day. And we're laughing and drinking apple tea and eating the dry sweet biscuits. And I know 9 words now. Child of the forest. The keeper of all things green, the one who teaches the trees to extend up and to dig down deep, who freely plays among the mighty oaks, the beech and the birch, and the frolics among the ancient firs. Wandering spirit seen tenderly, caring, watching, preserving, feeding the life of the forest, providing a home for all who would dwell beneath her boughs. Playful and carefree, though watchful for those who would harm her living trees. With reckless fury she would unleash on all who seek to destroy. With piercing gaze she sees the heart to know if you're a friend or foe. For the forest she loves, as long as the forest lives, she too remains. For she and it are one and the same. The unicorn's forgotten bones. Our tale is told with empty words lingering on deeds that never crossed the distance and found shrouded still. Like 1,000 killing cuts we watched yesterdays, one by one in silence along the passage of desolation, only to find there our stories without journey or end. Stories where ancestral voices passed unheard, whispering secrets obscured by thoughts not found in the soul's dream. A dream where hummingbird wings can rest, and the waterfalls sing while unicorns play, raising the spirits of the children, first voices to laugh echoing forever. But youthful wings too soon clipped never noticed the unicorn's forgotten bones. So with eyes wide shut and wilted hearts we gather around patriot graves with our resurrection, while our good guardians pretend their morals and litter the fantasies of our children who play upon the dead, spreading the disease of war. The Macabre Circus. The Macabre Circus, for those who don't know, is a place that you only can get to with a feeling of excessive dread and woe. Strangers, monsters, and lunatics assault meander the foundations, bearing smiles, frowns, and appalling smirks. Once you turn up there, you cannot leave. It doesn't matter who you ask or what you believe. Eyeless visitors and mutilated guests embrace entrails like pets as they watch the dying clowns lethargically perform. The shows at this juncture are eccentric, to say the least. They are not for amusement, but rather a exploitative display of nightmarish, grotesque, and decomposing beast. Jugglers perform, and they do it well. The jugglers juggle the spheres with all rusty protruding nails. Headless animals with dreamlike features squander in cages made from the parts of the most unassuming of creatures. The Macabre Circus goes on everlastingly and shall by no means end. The Macabre Circus is as boundless as a madman's grin. Phenomenon. You hear them before you see them, a sound in the breeze like the striking of 1,000 ivory chopsticks. A black tsunami rolls in, blocking the sun. Grackles drop to the ground like ebony leaves. Flakes of pepper season the lawn in search of sustenance. Startled, they soar in unison to some unknowable command, then settle back to the soil. In the midst of the sudden midnight, a single bird, with snow-white-tailed feathers, feeds and flies with his feathers, a phenomenon. Does he know he is singular? As quickly as it arrived, the black storm blows away, with the sound of 1,000 ivory chopsticks. Like two exotic shells they collided. I heard their fun in the colourless photographs, so the blur of their hair in the still wind, the glint of their bike wheels on an English summer lane, before they disembarked and piled themselves against sepia haystacks. All smiles and gypsy hearts, I stroked their faces many times on the celluloid paper. Look at them, primed in the park, all pregnant now. He had his thick brown wave hanging over his forehead, all the handsomeness of a magazine cover. And from the clover he picked up his babies and twirled them high above his head, all eyes and smiles and sky. He owned hands for holding. He cradled everything, from kids to pups to friends and strangers. He scooped us up from the car to the earth, and in its warmth he filled our heads with soldier songs, his fatherless youth, his valiant heart, his dreams, his hopes, a handful of haunting photographs. Illumina Mundi. I was and I am in a sojourn, by life like that of a light, flickering or dead still, vulnerable and open to sundry elements, at times cruel, mocking, deceitful, ally, or adversity to finish our own journey, thus like that of manifested destiny will protect its life to survive the test we never yearn to add nor complete, defying odds that we're told will make us either burn out or ever proud. A simple question. It's likely arrogant people, often having stuffy noses, don't smell shit in their own pants. They keep dumping garbage in the backyard while ignoring the fact that someday, in no doubt, it will pile up their living space, filling their kitchen, living room, and bedrooms. Man does the same to the environment as he continues depositing his rubbish, but is still foolishly arguing. He needs to see more evidence of damage and negative impacts on the nature from the bad smell of his own shit. Could those folks with condensed minds wake up someday and understand how much destruction already done to the Mother Earth by the so-called mankind? Couldn't they? Butterfly Dream 1. We'll dress it in color, we'll make it sound nice, do not worry about that. Just let those symbols flow, free those sounds of rhyme, and work with silence and many spaces on white. Have no concern for rhythm, for it is in your heart. Metrics, who cares? Let it be free, open, and wild. Think of Apollinaire, Lorca, and Rimbaud, revolutionaries of their time. You might not have their tools, but you too speak from your heart. Structures made to confine? Do not worry about that. Tear them all down. They are for orators of beautiful sounds that often misguide. They will never contain the freedom of truth. Speak now and get it over and done. Now, ready when you are. Let's leap into the unknown. Open your arms. Be ready to fly. Leave your clothes of fears behind. Feel the breeze pass by. Black tsunami rolls in, blocking the sun, so the blur of their hair in the still wind, the glint of their bike wheels on an English subway before they disembarked, pile themselves in the thick-glazed halal. Or adversity to finish our own journey, that's like that of manifested destiny, protect its life to survive the test we never yearned to have. Keep dumping garbage in the backyard while ignoring the fact that someday, you know that,